Hello, my name's Jim Harvey and I work for All Cow Communications with the fabulous people at Royal Bank of Scotland, Global Banking and Markets. You'll be meeting us soon in some context and we want you to do brilliantly through the whole process. So we want to spend some time giving you some thoughts about how you can develop your personal impact to make a fantastic impression when we meet. So what is personal impact? At its simplest, personal impact is about being good at getting people to like you. Simple as that. It's about you being flexible in your approach to meeting strangers, colleagues, clients and friends, and being skilled enough to leave them with a warm impression of you, whatever kind of mood they're in. So having personal impact is about being able to meet the frostiest person and leave them feeling thawed out. How about giving a presentation to a group of cynical people, showing them that you understand, you care, and you still have a point to make that they might learn from, even if they disagree. And also it's about being able to manage our feelings about the behaviour of other people so that we have a chance to make things better at the end of our meeting with them than they seemed to be at the start. So, personal impact is a mixture of likability, sincerity and empathy. It's as simple as that. So, how do we get more of it? So, the simplest way of developing your personal impact is by concentrating on building your social skills. Everything else follows. So, Rachel, can we see the picture, please? You'll see here a little diagram. On the left-hand side, we've got social skill. Low social skill at the bottom, high social skill at the top. And along the bottom, we have an idea of a person's status. So how important or confident they think that they are in any given situation. So you'll be coming into, maybe it's an interview, maybe it's an internship, working with people that you don't know. How can you present yourself with real personal impact? Because if you have low social skill and you feel that you're the lowest status person in the organisation, you will tend to be invisible. And we don't want you, and you don't want to be invisible. Work on your social skills and your visibility will rise. But already in the organisation you'll find people that have low social skill but are actually quite important, have high status or a high sense of self. If that's the case, you would tend to describe those people as obnoxious. Okay? And you don't want to be that either, but it's less likely that you'll come into the organisation thinking that you are important. Thirdly, and this is really where we want you to be, if you think, and you are, relatively low status in the organisation, you can have great visibility and make a great impression by building your social skills, and you will be influencing. People will notice you, and that will be good for you, good for them, and good for your career. Now the goal, of course, is as you move through your career, as you become more important and your sense of self grows too, that you will have those high social skills and high status. At that point, you will tend to be seen as a charismatic person that everybody who meets will remember. And what do charismatic people do more than anything else to make you feel comfortable and good about yourself is they give their status away. So, you'll be coming in to a place of work and you want to make a great first impression. How do we do that? It's simply by developing our social skills to a high level. And I want to talk about 3 particular areas. So, Rachel, first area, think about connecting with the other person or the other people in the room, and that at its simplest level, it is understanding where your energy is. Is it all in your head about how you feel? Is it some kind of performing energy where you think you've got to be bigger and brighter and more confident than you possibly can be? Or is it shared, connected, respectful energy where you're really interested in the other people in the room? That's the first thing about social skill. Make a connection with the people in the room. Secondly, it's about two things, two simple skills, which I've shortened here to clicking and stroking, which is simply about honouring another person by listening to them with honesty and sincerity. And then lastly, it's about showing confidence. Mental, physical, and verbal confidence, which are skills that can be practiced like any other. And those are the three secrets of developing personal impact that you can use. When you come on a course, when you read a book, when you work with us, we'll explore these three areas in a great deal of detail. But for now, let's leave them there, but spend a little bit of time looking at clicking and stroking in more detail. What do we mean by clicking and stroking? Well, let's look at stroking first. It's a silly way, in some ways, of saying people like other people to be interested in them, and people like to be stroked like a cat or a dog likes to be stroked for the things that they do and the things that they are. It can be as simple as a smile and a piece of eye contact when somebody meets you for the first time. When somebody tells you that they are the marketing director of Ford Motor Company for Europe, it's about understanding. They want you to say, wow, not, oh right. It's a little stroke. It's about saying, oh, that's interesting, when somebody mentions something in conversation that is interesting to them. And it is about showing verbally and physically appreciation for everything that you can about another person. People like to be stroked. It's a courtesy. So, in conversation, look for opportunities to stroke everybody that you meet to make them feel good about themselves. And so what does double clicking mean? Well, like a website. Somebody says something like, I have set up a department that is about making Royal Bank of Scotland or Ford Motor Company or wherever the most successful organisation in marketing in the world. Rather than just standing there with a stunned expression on your face, it might be saying, oh, that's interesting. How does that work? How have you done it? How? Why? When? What? It is about taking something and double-clicking on it as if it was a link on a website to get more information from you. So questions like, how does that work? How did you do it? Tell me more are all examples of you being interested in what the other person is saying and making a positive impression on them. I cannot emphasize the importance of these two simple social skills enough. Stroke and double click every opportunity that you get in a professional environment. Okay, next slide please. What can you do from here to prepare for a job interview, for a presentation, for a sales meeting? How can you make this work for you? Well, here are a few examples. Next slide. Dale Carnegie has written one of the best books on personal impact, how to win friends and influence people. He says, I agree with him, that you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Social skill is the key. That's the first thing to remember. Okay, next slide please, Rachel. There's the book. I have no financial interest in it whatsoever. For Amazon, $2.99 to your door. If you haven't read it and you want to develop your personal impact, read it. It's a fantastic book. But there's more that you can do. This probably is the core skill for having met somebody to turn that meeting into a relationship that's good for you and offers you support, advice, and maybe even opportunity in future. Once you've met somebody, it's a courtesy to keep in touch with them. Socrates, Greek philosopher, had a very simple word to say on the subject. Be slow to fall into friendship, but when thou art in, continue firm and constant. Keep in touch. And actually, if we can see the next slide, there is no reason not to keep in touch. So, you'll be coming to see us at the Royal Bank of Scotland, probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks, and we are really looking forward to meeting you. And we want you to walk through the door and from the first moment to the last moment to make a brilliant personal impact on us. We've given you some thoughts as to how you can do that and to how you can prepare for that moment. So all that remains for me to do now is to wish you the best of luck, and we will see you soon. Thank you.